Well, she certainly feels stiff enough. I mean, I'm quite happy standing up here and working on the foredeck.
It's like a mini keelboat, isn't it?
It's a mini keelboat, yeah. Yeah, she definitely sails much more like a keelboat than a centerboarder.
Wait a minute,
Yep.
we've got a banana on board.
Yeah.
Isn't that bad?
We won't have a banana on board for long.
No. We're at the Domain boat ramp, just next to Hobart. Hobart's just about a mile to the west. This is the River Derwent, and so that down there, that's south towards Bruny Island and the Don Tricasto Channel. This is the first sail for the Com-Pac 16, and I've got my mate Ben with me. How long did that take?
15 minutes, maybe.
Put some Dyneema stays on already. I've also put some Dyneema lifelines on. These are lazy mats, they're not lazy jacks. This is something that I've been playing around on the Navigator, if you see one of our previous videos. Let's get her salty. Well, so far she's floating. This boat hasn't been off the trailer in about 3 or 4 years. So we're giving her a name. Joe chose the name. We've already got Sea Dog, so now we've got Sea Cat. Can you pull her over? Pretty stiff. Okay, let's get these sails up. There we go, mains up. Bit of flutter in the leech. There's no leech line on this. So that sort of suggests to me that the sail's a little bit old. Yeah. You right? Gee, she feels stiff, doesn't she? Wow. What do you reckon, Mr. Tucker?
Oh, she feels good. She's stiff, perfectly balanced. If anything, a little bit of lee helm. So, look at that. I reckon about 2 to 3 degrees of weather helm. I'm not even able to get that. So, she's definitely at the moment got lee helm.
And what are we doing? According to the water speed app, maximum speed so far it's just been under 5 knots. We're doing 4.5 knots at the moment, and we're pointing at the moment, and there would be a bit of current coming down the river for a boat like this in these conditions. That's pretty good. This is Kunani, Mount Wellington, and Hobart is just there. See all those huge buildings? That's Hobart. Big bustling Hobart just there. This is the Tasman Bridge over the River Derwent, looking north and then looking south. Ben, there's a lot of people that talk about the weather helm on the Com-Pac 16. What are you experiencing?
At the moment, she's actually got a bit of lee helm. Some of that might be because the mast rake isn't set correctly, but lee helm just kills a boat's performance to windward. So a lot of people get mistaken with lee and weather. They think it's how much they have to pull on the tiller. It's got nothing to do with that. It's the angle that it takes here. So at the moment, I've probably got a couple of degrees of lee helm. The helm's pointing down. What I should have is a couple of degrees of windward helm, where I'm actually a little bit up there. The weight, the amount you're pulling is nothing to do with lee or weather helm. That's often affected by the rake of the rudder blade and the shape of the rudder blade. But ideally, about 2 to 3 degrees of weather helm is perfect for going to windward.
And also sail trim?
Sail trim can make a big factor as well. So, you know, good skippers will be playing the sail trim to keep that sort of 2 to 3 degrees of weather helm, and that gets the rudder actually lifting the boat to windward.
And that's why Traveller comes in handy.
Traveller, kicker, outhauls,
yep.
All of those play a big factor. At the moment, the wind's gone light and the lee helm's really bad. So that just kills performance so much. So I'm having to push the rudder down to there.
Yeah.
Probably close to 5 to 10 degrees to leeward to keep her going to windward.
Yep.
So that just kills performance. One thing about weather and lee helm, most boats will have slight lee helm and light airs and a bit too much weather helm and strong winds, but it really depends on how much you heel the boat. So as soon as we sat to leeward, I'll suddenly start to get a little bit of weather helm. So that's the other way of adjusting it, is just by heeling the boat a bit, you get a little bit more weather helm, and now the boat feels like it's coming back alive, and this rudder's starting to help, you know, stop the boat go sideways. So a little bit of heel. So the amount of heel, if you get too much weather helm, get the boat upright. Ease the main of it, keep the boat flat.
Which is really important with a boat like this with a very shoal keel.
It is, exactly. And the other thing is reaching. Most boats will have a lot of weather helm with reaching. That's just the nature of the beast. If it gets too much, obviously ease the main right out, refit, sheet the head cylinder a little bit, various things, but that's not the fault of the boat. A good boat will often have a lot of weather helm reaching, and, you know, fast reaching.
Yeah, okay.
Just how they go. Got to adjust your sails.
Yeah. Ben, what do you think about this main? If we were going to increase performance, maybe put a loose-footed main with some full battens, what do you think? Maybe even utilise this extra bit of boom area here.
Yeah, definitely. You use all the boom, a fair bit more roach.
We're just seeing how she heaves too. Now, most of you probably know how to heave too. But I'll get Ben to explain it in detail. Here comes the Mona Ferry. Ben, tell us about heaving too in a sloop. We've done it in a yawl.
Just leave the headsail sheeted, tack, and leave it aback like it is at the moment. So the headsail fights the mainsail. You put the helm to leeward.
Yep.
So the rudder is trying to steer the boat into the wind.
Yep.
The jib is trying to prevent that.
Yep.
Which will just sit there, going sideways slowly and comfortably.
The Com-Pac 16 manual says that the jib sheets should run on the outside of the stays, and we just think she might point a little bit better if we run it on the inside. So we're going to experiment now.
Yeah, so to come out of heave 2, all you need to do is, and now you're sailing again. Helps if you remember to untie the teller before you do it. So you can steer. Okay. There we go. So, see how I can crank that in quite a bit more.
Yeah. She comes in a lot tighter.
Yeah, it's still, it would be nice if this point was in a little bit here, if we had an in-hauler or something.
On the cabin roof perhaps.
Yeah, it almost, if you just take the helm for a sec, it almost goes something like in-hauler. You've probably got quite a bit better ship angle.
Look, the helm is just light. There's nothing there.
That's too light. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. There's no weather helm.
Now, I mean, we might have gone too far. I don't know. You need to test with the boat to find out the right point to get that headsail in. But I quite like that. She's not footing as well as she was before. She's not going as fast as she was before with the outboard.
No.
And that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
Particularly with the shallow keel, you don't want to pinch too much, lose too much speed and start going sideways.
You want to take this? I just want to check the rudder. She's still recording. I just make sure that the blade's still down.
Yeah, that's the other big thing, is if the blade isn't all the way down,
that's fine.
You'll end up with a lot of what feels like weather helm, but it's just the rudder too far aft. The wind's dropped right out now.
It has, isn't it? It's just dropped off.
Feels like a shift.
What we're going to do is we're going to sail into here, which is King's Pier, and we're meeting up with Joe and the boys, and we're going to have fish and chips. Good idea?
Great idea.
Hey Ben, how much do you hate lee helm?
I hate it with passion. I put up with any amount of weather helm just so I don't have to fight lee helm in light airs.
Here we come into King's Pier. Hey, Jules. Yeah.
Lovely. Don't argue with that.
Yeah, 1.6 knots at 60 watts. There's no current in here.
What does that give you? That would give you best part of
A couple of days.
it'll give you 20 odd hours, 18 hours, not and a half. That's 18 odd miles.
So the mast is raking just slightly forward, which would explain why we had a little bit of lee helm. We'll just let that forestay off a bit and then tighten up the stays, bring her back ever so slightly, and then we'll take her out for another sail. So Ben, tell me about lee helm with a mast raked forward like this. How's that?
It just puts the sails further forward towards the front of the boat, which tends to push the bow off downwind. So it can be one way to fix weather helm if you've got genuine weather helm, is look at the rake of the mast and straighten it up a bit. But in this case we've got way too much lee helm, so we'll do the opposite. We'll rake the mast back and hopefully generate a bit more weather helm. There is another little factor, particularly with this style of rig is held up by the two shrouds, and they have a drift aft to stop the mast going forwards. If you have too much forward rake, you can actually end up with a mast that is unstable. What happens is the shrouds stretch a bit and the angle behind the mast isn't enough, and it can become quite dangerous, so you do have to watch out for that.
So we've adjusted the stays, we've moved the mast aft a little bit, and that might just decrease the amount of lee helm. Just watch your head. You're not really supposed to sail out of here.
We're paddling out.
Yeah, no, that's right.
We're sail assist.
Yep, we're pretending this is
Boat,
nothing to see here. Yep, I've got him. And that's why we like small boats.
We didn't even need the E-propulsion. I was just sitting there.
We didn't need the what?
The E-propulsion.
The what?
The E-propulsion.
Say it again.
The E-propulsion.
All right, so what have you done here, Ben? You've turned the main sheet into just a 2-to-1 now.
Yeah, well, it was worth a try.
Yeah.
Felt like there was more than it needed.
This is what we call a human pole.
Found my place in life. My calling. Of course, I hope Matt doesn't drive now, because it's going to be a bit awkward with this thing.
No.
I have to hold that out.
Okay,
as well.
I promise I won't. Yeah.
It's quite comfy up here though.
Yeah.
It feels stable and solid.
Yeah.
Matt's looking comfy, yeah. We're just saying that adjustment to the mast rake has improved the helm balance a lot. I'm just adjusting it. Still could use a bit more rake, but just slipping along there, and you know, about neutral helm now. Maybe a degree or two of weather helm.
But I've got a sneaking suspicion that might have something to do with the concave in the foil. We've got about what, 6 to 8 knots of breeze.
Yeah.
Water speed app telling us we're doing between 3.5 and 4 knots. We've got a bit of current coming down the river, but I wouldn't say that we're making any leeway.
No, looking behind, the wake's pretty level, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Much better.
We've got a seal just up ahead, Ben.
Okay. Well, she certainly feels stiff enough. I mean, I'm quite happy standing up here and working on the foredeck.
It's like a mini keelboat, isn't it?
It's a mini keelboat, yeah. Yeah, she definitely sails much more like a keelboat than a centerboarder.
It's nice knowing that you don't have a centerboard down there that you have to worry about, you know, extra hardware. And I mean, there's no holes in this hull. There's no through holes, there's no bolt holes, you know, stuff getting caught in there. Or we got a mooring down at Cygnet, and I'd be quite happy to put some anti-foul on the bottom of this and leave it on the mooring for a season.
Yeah.
No, it's really handy having a cabin on a small boat. I know a lot of people say, oh, why would you want a cabin on a small boat? Open boats are great, but when you've been sailing all day in an open boat and you get to your destination, you put the anchor down and you need to go to sleep, the last thing you want to do is have to wipe all of the rainwater or all the dew or all the salt water off all your stuff, set up a boom tent, roll out your sleeping bag and go to sleep. As where if you've got a little cabin like this, all you need to do is throw the anchor down, pull the sails down, jump down there and go to sleep. Just so much easier. And you know, a clever designed small boat like this, you can still have plenty of room in the cockpit, out on deck, and still have enough room down below to cook and sleep and whatnot. But you know, every boat has a compromise. So we've just been talking about the possibility of adding a mizzen.
That would solve the lee helm issue. Yeah, that's what she needs.
And then Ben's thrown a spanner in the works and said, well, why don't you put a lug on it?
Oh, you know, it worked a treat. You'd get rid of the compression post, so you could push the berths a bit further forward.
Yeah.
Lug, I think, would be much quicker to rig. You know,
You
you could
could-
put the mast in and you'd have the sail in a bundle ready to go up.
Yep.
No slugs, no jib.
Be 100, 110 square foot of sail.
Yeah, something like a Goat Island skiff mainsail,
Yeah.
or a scamp mainsail,
Yeah.
and then a little mizzen on it. Be about the same sail area.
And you could just put it in the forward hatch, just make a new hole in the hatch there. And
Yeah, or you could leave that. You could possibly go just forward of the hatch and have a hole there, and then if you wanted to go for Mooden rig, you just drop a Samson post in it. You just pull it out, and you just got a little hole there for a Samson post.
and then where are we going to put the mizzen?
We're just going to put it slightly on the starboard side of the rudder. Mizzen.
There we go.
At the moment it's mizzen, but it won't be for long.
You're an
Or
idiot.
the one straight off the navigator would work.
Oof, then it would be salty.
Oh, super salty, mate. That's-
Ben, what's that boat down there?
That's Noena. That's Noena, the icebreaker. So that's the Australian Antarctic Division icebreaker.
And you've worked on that boat, haven't you?
I sailed on it to Antarctica this summer. Actually, I went down there. We did a resupply of Casey Station. She's an amazing ship, absolutely incredible icebreaker.
So you've been to Antarctica a few times?
Yeah, I think it's 11 times now.
11 times.
By boat. 5 times on yachts, and 7 times on icebreakers.
And you've sailed across the Drake? How many times?
5 times across the Drake
Yeah.
Passage, and I've sailed from Hobart to Antarctica on my own yacht. So a little 34-footer down to Commonwealth Bay.
Snow petrel.
Snow petrel.
Snow
Snow petrel down under.
The link to Ben's video of Snow Petrel going to Antarctica is here, and I'll also leave a link below. Highly recommended watching it. It's incredible. Ben was one of the very first people to sail a small keelboat to Antarctica in 2006 with his brother and his dad. Check out that video, it's incredible. Got any weather helm?
Not enough.
Still a bit of lee helm?
Yeah, a little bit. A bit moshy.
Yeah.
Definitely could use a better rudder.
Yeah. Okay. This looks great. Well, there you go. That's the end of another episode of Small Craft Tasmania. Hope you've enjoyed it. Com-Pac 16. It's a fantastic little pocket cruiser. It's a real credit to Com-Pac. The build quality is fantastic. It's a 30-year-old boat, and it still shapes up really well. Sails beautifully. Thanks for watching. Stay salty. So, a small boat adventure wouldn't be complete without some kind of a cook-up, and Ben's going to give us a little cooking lesson now, and this is the sort of stuff that he would make for himself and his crew when he goes to Antarctica. Take it away, Ben.
Right, just rummaging around. I've got a few ingredients. Banana is always good, delicious, high in potassium, awesome small boat food. Peanuts, can't go wrong with peanuts, unsalted, because there's plenty of salt water out there to add to them.
Yep.
Okay, we don't have much of a cooking pot, but we have this baler slash pea pot.
You got some water to put in there?
We've got a bit of water, hang on.
Maybe some of that bilge water down there?
Yep,
just soak some of the bilge water. That's it.
Water's always precious on a boat, so you've got to keep, you've got to look after it wherever it is. Right, that smells good.
That's good. That's dirty bilge water, look at that.
Yeah. There's a slight hint of fiberglass in there, which just gives it that authentic more in here. That's a good one. Oh, look at that juice.
Oh. We could make tea as well.
We could make a tea. Add some of the ingredients. Good sprinkling of these in here. Not too many, because, we need a bit of...
Well, we could be at sea for years.
Exactly. We've got to conserve our rations.
Yeah.
Oh, they're nice and the juicy ones. They're well done. They're sweet.
So wait a minute.
Yep.
We've got a banana on board.
Yeah.
Isn't that bad?
We won't have a banana on board for long. Yeah. You don't have much to stir it with, but
use the...
at a pinch, it's a little bit excessive, but maybe like a boat hook.
A boat. Oh, you're using the wrong end. Shouldn't you use the actual hook end?
Yeah, that way I'll just give that a bit of a wash.
Yeah.
Good bit of mash up. Got to be properly mashed. Oh, that looks so good.
Oh yeah.
That's so good for you. Stay salty, Matt.
There we go.
What? You didn't save some for me?
It is salty.